JEE Mains, January 2026, some basic concepts of chemistry. So I collected all the questions at one place, all shifts. So this is the first question. So we'll solve it in a detailed mode. So all questions, some basic concepts of chemistry from all shifts. So those shifts we will discuss. The first question, here is aqueous HCl reacts with MnO2 to form MnCl2 and Cl2H2O. What is the weight of chlorine liberated when 8.7 grams of MnO2 solid is reacted with excess HCl solution? Given molar masses is given. So first here is what they are asking, MnO2 reacting with HCl. HCl is excess. This is limiting reagent, this is excess. We'll get MnCl2 plus Cl2 plus H2O. So the main important thing is first we need to balance the equation. So here is first so manganese, Mn, it's clear. For example, here is I'm taking 4 HCl, so take 2 H2O, Cl2 and Cl2. So this is the balanced equation. In this case, this is excess. This is the limiting reagent MnO2. According to mole concept, 1 mole of MnO2 when reacting with excess of HCl will get MnCl2 plus Cl2 plus H2O. It is 1 mole is only forming. 1 mole of MnO2 gives 1 mole of Cl. This is a key point which we need to know. So 1 mole of MnO2 will get 1 mole of Cl2. But here is how many moles of Mn? 8.7 grams. 8.7 grams means what? MnO2 is given weight 8.7 by its molecular weight. Molecular weight we don't know. Manganese they gave us 55. 55, oxygen is 32 right? 87. So means we'll get 0.1 mole. 0.1 mole. So means here it is 0.1 mole. This is 0.1 mole. We'll get 0.1 mole of chlorine. Simple. So we'll get the 0.1 mole. But they are asking how much, what is the weight of chlorine is in grams they are asking. Right? So moles, number of moles is equals to weight by molecular weight. So we need weight. Weight is equals to number of moles into molecular weight. So number of moles is how much? 0.1. Molecular weight of chlorine is Cl 35.5, Cl2, right? 71. So we'll get 7.1 grams of chlorine we will get. 7.1 grams of chlorine means obviously option 1 is the correct answer. Option 1, 7.1. 7.1, it is 71, 21 points, so like that. So this is 21st January, right, second shift question. So particularly main important thing is we should know how many, so this is the equation. First we need to know this equation, how many moles of MnO2 is reacting with HCl, so how many moles of Cl2 is forming. So this is the way which we need to do. Yeah, one more question from January, 21st January, shift 1. So some basic concepts of chemistry. Here is also same model question. So 14 grams of calcium metal is allowed to react with excess of HCl like previous question only. So 1 atm at 1 atm pressure and 273 Kelvin. So means at STP conditions. Which of the following statement is incorrect? So here first we will see calcium, right? When calcium is treated with HCl, excess of HCl, you get CaCl2, calcium chloride plus hydrogen. So for example, if 2 moles of HCl, excess if you are taking of course, CaCl2, HCl gas. According to this 1 mole, so 1 mole of CaCl2 and 1 mole of hydrogen we are getting. So according to this concept, so 1 mole of calcium will get 1 mole of CaCl2 and 1 mole of H2. So first we need to know this is the basic information. So then afterwards 14 grams of calcium metal is given. 14 grams means what? So we need to know the number of moles is equals to 14 by number of moles, molecular weight of calcium. Calcium is 40. So we get 0.35 moles. 0.35. So 14 by 40 will get 0.35 moles. Means according to this one, 0.35 moles of calcium is treating. So we'll get 0.35 moles of CaCl2 and 0.35 moles of hydrogen. Okay. Now we'll go step by step. So 0.35 moles of hydrogen gas is evolved. Yes. 0.35 moles of H2. But here is what they are asking. Which of the following statement is incorrect? We need to read the question totally, because lot of people, what they'll think, which of the following statement is correct. So there is a huge confusion, silly mistakes the people can do. So here is they are asking incorrect. Incorrect means, so this is correct one. First one is correct. No issues. And 7.84 liters of gas is evolved. So means according to mole concept, 1 mole is equals to 22.4 liters. 22.4 liters of gas is 1 mole, nothing but 22.4 liters. It is 1 mole means 22.4, 0.35 moles is how many liters? 0.35 into 22.4. So if we are calculating approximately, we will get same 7.84 liters. 7.84 liters. 7.84 liters means obviously second option is correct. And the limiting reagent is calcium metal. Obviously this is excess. This is the limiting. This is also correct. And 33.3. Right, 33.3 calcium chloride is produced, but it is 0.35 moles only it's producing. So the incorrect one is third one. Our answer is 3. 3 is the answer. So in this case, total simply mole concept they are asking. So we'll see the next question. One more question from some basic concepts of chemistry from limiting reagent. So it takes a bit time, but easy question only. So in this case, A plus 2B gives rise to AB2. 36 grams of A molar mass is given, 60, and 56 grams of B is given. Molar mass also is given. So allowed to react. Which of the following statements are correct? So which one is limiting reagent? So we need to solve this one. Simply A plus 2B gives rise to AB2. According to this equation, it's very clearly telling us 1 mole of A is treating with 2 moles of B, 1 mole of AB2 is forming. So first we need to find out the number of moles here. So A is number of moles. A is given. Number of moles means what? Weight by molecular weight. So A means number of moles, 36 by number of moles of A. 36 by molecular weight is given 60 and 56 grams by 80. So here is we'll get 0.6 moles. In this case we'll get 0.7 moles. So 56 by 80 will get 0.7, 0.6. Now in this case, which one is the limiting reagent we need to know. So to know the limiting reagent, 1 mole is reacting with 2 moles, right? So for example, 0.6 moles is reacting with 2 moles, means automatically here is 0.6, 0.7. If you are confusing, simply we can do one shortcut method. Here is 0.6 by 1. So number of moles here is equals 0.6, 0.7 by 2. So 0.35. 0.35 means by default B is the limiting reagent. B is the limiting reagent. One more important thing which we can do, from the limiting reagent, 0.35 7 minus 2x is equals to 0. Right? Here is x. So here is 0.6 minus x, like that. So do one thing. I'll the same thing, same question I'll explain in the next page. Yeah. A plus 2b gives rise to AB2. I told you this is 1 mole, 2 moles. According to this is 36 by 0.6, 0.7. Directly I am taking 0.6, 0.7 moles. So what I am trying to say, here is this is the B is the limiting reagent because 0.7 by 2. So 0.7 minus 2x is equals to 0. So 0.6 minus x, and here is x. 0.7 is equals to 2x, x is equals to 0.35. So how much A is really left means 0.6 minus 0.35. So we'll get 0.25 moles. A is left, and 0.35 means this is total because limiting reagent 100% is consuming, and obviously 0.35 moles of AB2 is forming. AB2 is forming. Now number of grams, here is number of moles, right? Number of moles is equals to weight by molecular weight. So weight is equals to what? Number of moles into molecular weight. Number of moles is 0.25 into molecular weight of A. Molecular weight of A is 60. So 0.25 almost all will get 15 grams. 15 grams. And AB2 molecular weight is how much? 60 plus AB2 molecular weight. 60 plus 2 into 80. 80, 160 plus 60, 220 grams. 220 grams. So this is the way which we need to calculate. Now we will go back and we'll cross check. So A is the limiting reagent. Obviously B is the limiting reagent. Means option A is wrong. And 77 grams of AB2 is formed. 77. So 0.35 moles. 0.35 moles AB2 is forming. 0.35 moles means what? Number of moles is equals to weight by molecular weight. Weight is equals to 0.35 into 225 grams. 0.35 into 220 grams, approximately will get 77 grams. So this is B is correct. Molar mass of AB2 is 220 grams. AB2, I already told you this is wrong. Molar mass of AB2, the molar mass of AB2 is 220 grams, but 140 grams is given. It's wrong. And 15 grams of A is left unreacted after completion of the reaction because A is the excess reagent. So how much is formed? 15 grams of A is formed. No. So this is correct. So means answer B and D are the correct ones. They are asking which of the following statement is correct. B and D. So B and D answer 3 is the right answer. 3 is the right answer. In this case, we need to find out the limiting reagent. Always imagine, so I will give you one shortcut trick always whenever the limiting reagent question coming in the future. For example, A plus 2B gives rise to, right, something 3C, whatever it may be. So here is, for example, some 3 moles, 5 moles is given. How many moles of C is forming? So we should find out the first limiting reagent. So first 3 by 1, because there is a number of moles is 1. 3 by 1 we need to do, and 5 by 2. 3 by 1 means 3, 5 by 2 means 2.5. So which is coming here is less, that is called as limiting reagent. So after doing whatever the number of moles is given by the equation moles, so we'll get whatever the value which we are getting less, that is limiting reagent. This 2.5 grams is a limiting reagent. Once we know the limiting reagent, so we need to write the equation like this. So it is 1 minus, not 1 minus, it is 3 minus, number of moles is told, 3 minus x and 5 minus 2x, in this case like 3x. So we need to find out the x. How should we find out the x? So from limiting reagent, 5 minus 2x is equals to 0. So why from the limiting reagent? Limiting reagent means which consumes 100%. Okay. So from this, 5 is equals to 2x, x is equals to 2.5. Once we got the 2.5, so just put the x value 3 minus 2.5. So 5 minus 2 into 2.5. Obviously it will be 0. 3 into 2.5. This is the way which we will get. So this is a shortcut method which I am telling you to solve easy questions. Probably in coming April session also, from mole concept, from some basic concepts of chemistry, this model is very important. And so this is the way which we need to do. So number of moles, weight by molecular weight, 0.6, 0.7. So 0.6 by 1, 0.7 by 2, 0.35, 0.6. 0.35 is the limiting reagent. So once we know that 0.75 minus 2x is equal to 0, from that one we just founded the x. So from that we just calculated. From this 0.75. So this is the way which we need to. I hope this is clear. Yeah, one more question from basic concepts of chemistry. It is 2 moles of aluminium, 6 moles of HCl. So this is the 2 moles of Al3 plus 6 moles of Cl minus and 3 moles of H2. So particularly in this case, the first option 11.2 liters, right? So we'll see, cross check which options are correct and which is wrong. So 11.2 liters of gas of STP produced by every mole of HCl is consumed. According to this equation, 2 moles of aluminium plus 6 moles of HCl is treating, so we'll get 2 moles of Al3 plus 6 moles of Cl minus plus 3 moles of hydrogen. For main series, in case of for every mole of HCl is consumed. Every mole means for 1 mole. It is 6 moles. How many moles of hydrogen is forming? 3 moles. For 1 mole is how much? For 1 mole, how many moles of hydrogen is produced? So simply cross multiplication. So 3 by 6 is nothing but 0.5 moles. 0.5 moles. We know at STP conditions, of course, 1 mole is equals to 22.4 liters. Right? 0.5 moles, how many liters? Obviously 11.2 liters. 11.2 liters. 11.2 liters of hydrogen STP is produced. The option 1 is correct one. And we'll see the second option. Right. 67.3 liters of hydrogen gas is at STP produced by every mole of aluminium. So now 2 moles of aluminium, it is for 2 moles of aluminium, how many moles of hydrogen? Obviously 3 moles, right? For every mole, for 1 mole is how much? So 3 by 2, nothing but 1.5 moles. 1.5 moles. 1.5 moles means what? So 1 mole is 22.4 liters. So 1.5 moles is how much? 22.4 into 1.5. We'll get approximately 33.6 liters now. 33.6, but they are given is 67.2. So this is the wrong one. So how much we need to get? 33.6 actually, right? 33.6. This is the wrong answer. And third one. 12 liters of HCl is consumed for every 6 liters of hydrogen is produced. So generally mole concept, so 1 mole, so the volume is for applicable for gases but not liquids and solids. By default the statement is aqueous is given. Aqueous is given. So if you are clearly watching, so automatically we can, this is also wrong one. And the fourth one, 33.6 liters of hydrogen gas is produced regardless of temperature and pressure for every mole of aluminum that reacts. So every mole of that aluminum is reacts at STP conditions. We already calculated 33.6. It's correct. But here is, we need to understand regardless. So at STP conditions, temperature and pressure should be constant. Regardless means whatever the temperature, whatever the pressure. So this we need to understand more and more. So regardless means particularly in case of STP conditions, the temperature and pressure should be fixed, but this is the wrong one. So the answer will be first one, 11.2 liters of hydrogen STP gas produced. So HCl. So one more question from some basic concepts of chemistry in 23rd January, shift 1. So X milligrams of pure HCl was used to make an aqueous solution of 25 ml of 0.1 molar barium hydroxide. Solution is used to when HCl solution is titrated against actually it's a titration reaction. So in titrations are on all the cases, so we are using mole concept as well as equivalent concept. Particularly in this case, Nana, barium hydroxide, BaOH twice is treated with HCl, right, acid and base. So we'll get BaCl2 plus H2O. When acid and base reacting, we'll get salt plus water. This is a BaCl2 is salt and water. So when we are balancing, we are taking the 2 moles, 2 HCl, 2 H2O, 2 Cl, the barium and 2 H2O. So this is the balanced equation. In this case, if you are going 1 mole of barium hydroxide is treating with 2 moles of HCl. 1 mole. So here is number of moles. Molarity is equals to number of moles by V in liters. Number of moles is equals to molarity into V in liters. Right? But here is asking the X milligrams. So we can go the millimoles. So millimoles is equals to molarity into V in ml. Directly we can take like this. So here is molarity is given 0.1 for barium hydroxide, 0.1 into 25. So we'll get 2.5 millimoles. When it is, we are taking the 2.5 millimoles, by default double means 5 millimoles. 5 millimoles of HCl is required. They are asking the HCl. Millimoles means simply weight. Weight is equals to, right? No, number of moles is equals to weight by molecular weight, right? So weight is equals to number of moles, millimoles here is 5 into number of millimoles, 5 into molecular weight, molecular weight of HCl, 36.5. 36.5 will get 182.5 milligrams. 5 milligrams. But in the question they are asking into 10 to the power of minus 1. So this we can write 1825 into 10 to the power of minus 1. So means what answer will be 1825. 1825. 1825 is the answer. Nearest integer 1825. This is the way which we need to do. Otherwise we can convert into grams to milligrams also we can do, but this is one of the easiest way method which we can do. Yeah, one more question from basic concepts of chemistry. This is the question, organic chemistry and some physical chemistry combination. So aniline acetic anhydride will get acetonylide by default. So when we are taking the aniline NH2, when we are using the acetic anhydride, ethanoic anhydride also we could say. we will get acetonylide, NH, C double bond O. Okay. A student has to plan to prepare from 9.3 grams of aniline. It is according to this equation. Before going to that one, 1 mole of aniline will get 1 mole of acetonylide. Right? Simple. Here, how many grams? 9.3 grams. 9.3 grams means number of moles. No? So the aniline molecular weight is 9.3 by 93. So this, for the molecular weight we need to calculate. It takes bit time, but we need to we have to do in a patient mode. If we didn't have the time, we need to move forward for the other questions, and we need to back and we need to solve this type of questions. Here is the calculation purpose. It takes bit time, but easy question only. So 93 will get 0.1 mole. If you are taking the 0.1 mole, by default, here is also will get 0.1 mole. So here is percentage of yield they are asking. So 0.1 mole, but what is the molecular weight of acetonylide is 135 nano. So here is 11 grams. According to the here is 11 grams is forming. How many moles it is forming? 11 by 135. We'll get 0.08148 moles we will get. 0.0 moles we will get. So actually it should have, we need to get this is 0.1, but how many moles we are getting? 0.018. So the percentage of yield is equals to, so 0.08148 by 0.1 into 100. So if you are calculating, we'll get 81.5%. 81.5% of yield only we will get. So this is a percentage of yield which we need to, easy question only, but the calculations it takes time, nothing. But we need to know this organic equation, acetonylide. If you don't know these reactions, I think you people can't do, right? So prepare organic reactions well and physical, because they are integrating all the equations. Yeah, one more question from some basic concepts of chemistry. So this question is somewhat easy, but for the calculation purpose it takes time. So if you are good at calculations, you can do immediately. If you are not good at calculations, do the easy questions first and come back for the calculations. It takes more time. Chalo. So in this case, CaCO3 gives rise to 2HCl, CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2. If 90 grams of CaCO3 is added to 300 ml of HCl, 38.5% of HCl mass is density is given. Which of the following statement is correct? So here is first CaCO3 gives rise to CaCO3 plus 2HCl gives rise to CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2. 90 grams of CaCO3 is given. 90 grams. But the mass of HCl is not given, but is given in a indirect mode. So just mathematical calculation here. So we know density is equals to mass upon volume. Mass is equals to density into volume. So density is given 1.13 and to volume is given 300 ml now. Volume is 300 ml of HCl is given. So 1.13 into 300, 339 grams. In this 339 grams, only we need to take 38.55%. So means 38.55% of this one. 3% means out of 100 now. 339, 130.68 grams. Actually 130.68 grams. To know the weight of HCl, so we need to do this much of calculations. Okay, next mole concept is easy, as it is whatever we did. So weight by molecular weight, 90 by calcium carbonate 100 grams. It is 36.5. So we'll get 0.9 moles here, 3.58. These are the number of moles. So just we didn't do anything actually. Now we have to start the process. 0.9 moles and 3.58. So in this case, which one is the limiting reagent, which I already told you in the first question. Obviously, is we need to divide 0.9 by 1 and 3.58 by 2 because number of moles is 2. It is 0.9, it is 1 point something. So obviously by default CaCO3 is the limiting reagent now. This is the limiting reagent. So limiting reagent means what? 0.9 is equals to minus x is equals to 0. So x is equals to 0.9. In this case 3.58 minus 2x nana. 2x. X means what? 0.9. 0.9 into 1.8. So 1.8, if you are subtracting this value, 1.78. 1.78 is remaining, and 1.8 is 1.8 moles is consumed. This is the data which we are getting. So we need to cross check the options now here. 64.97 grams of HCl remains unreacted. So how much? 1.78. 1.78 into 36.5. 64.97 grams unreacted. This is the correct one. 64.97 grams of HCl is unreacted. Of course, this is correct one. And 32.85 grams of CaCO3 remains unreacted. Because I told you limiting reagent is CaCO3. So means it's 100% consumes. So option second is wrong. And 97.3 grams of HCl is reacted. No, 1.8 gram, 1.8 moles. 1.8 moles means approximately, right, 65 something. So this is also wrong. And 60.3 grams of unremaining, because already we calculated 64.97. This is also wrong. So just simply it's a mole concept question only.